Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a story that caught our attention. A lady said she's been married for a while and has 3 kids with her husband. But her husband's job is far away, and she ended up cheating after so many years. What was meant to be a one-night stand became a 2 years plus thing. And for the first time, she went to his house and on the wall hung pictures of her own husband. When she asked him, he said that was his elder brother who stayed in Germany with his wife and 2 kids. She was stunned because for the first time, she was pregnant and her supposed husband's family does not even know of her and her children's existence. Everywhere, yam, pepper, scatter, scatter, scatter. So let me try and put it in plain English so that we understand it. This babe is married and husband lives far away, right? He comes to see her from time to time. If he tell and say in DC or in no DC, and then he comes and she's had 3 children with the husband. So one thing happened, 2 things, meet 3 things. She started meeting somebody to help her shine her Congo. Today is Friday, so I'm free to speak. And it became interesting. It lasted 1 year, 2 years. Why husbands see they come once in a while, 1 year, 2 years, and then, okay, let's even take this further. Let me visit you. Only for her to visit this guy and then sees her husband's picture on the guy's wall. I beg, where did you know this uncle from? And the guy said, that's my elder brother now. He lives in Germany with his family. Meaning the family members know that he's married to somebody in Germany. Apparently, they don't know about her. So my question, first of all, when I heard the stories, was when they did the marriage, how many family members did they invite in the first place? How is it possible exactly that his family members do not know he's married to you, to the extent that you now had to start dating the brother without knowing? So who now came for that marriage? But let me cool down so that you ladies will tell me your thoughts initially. Nima, yam pepper scatter, give us.
Quickly. So now, it's a family of infidelity, as far as I'm concerned. The leader of the family, the head, as they call the men, is a philanderer. The wife, she's looking for EPA. So all of them, dirty people, all together. Because how I even say do wedding, no mommy more. No introduction, you did not meet nobody meet you. Because some family, you don't even need to see all their family members with their face. You see their sticker everywhere. I went to the village with my father-in-law's burial. I looked at one stranger walking past the family compound, and he looked so much like my son. And I kept like, what's this?
Who is this?
Another person by his side came again. Inside one was even wearing short. I was like, It was like I'm seeing a grown-up version of my son, and I was like confused. And then they said, oh, these ones are the direct children of the grandfather, of my son's great-grandfather. I was like, so he doesn't even look like my husband. He actually looks like his ancestors that have been, So sometimes you know some families just by their face. But, when we insist on the sanctity of marriage,
there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for it. Because now, brother, son, and those kind of dirty stories. Yesterday we were discussing a very sensitive topic. Myself and my neighbor were discussing a very sensitive topic of incest and rape in the family. And the women were like, they should just kill the man. They should just kill. I said, no, the damage is already done. If you punish the man, you jail him, you kill him, whatever, the damage is not on him. It's on the children, the child who has to carry our siblings as children.
Oh, God. Hi, God, I beg.
The line of damage is long. The children who have to grow up seeing their mom as their sibling. The confusion it causes. Why we say we are not animals and cannot resist like animal kingdom. Why some people say they won't understand it. When we say put rules down, they'll say, no, this one is not allowed. LGBTQ, this one Q. Now they say pedophilia, it has a right. All these things, they're just too much for a normal, sensible mind to exist. Because it disturbs your sanity. Yeah, it does. To even think about them. And so this one too now is that kind of complication we're looking at. Okay. The man has doing away. He have away family.
He has 2 families, actually.
That damage was unknown to her. But the one she do, does it not justify what she's finding out? No. All of them just scatter. She go to philandra. She go and help herself. If the man is not available for you, you're sexual, you will call a family meeting and request for a dignified divorce. So that you can, when you play your away, there's legitimacy to it. You go on with, move on, you have a new family. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, I question a society that even questions divorce. When a woman is asking, or a man is asking for divorce, it means that the two people don't see eye to eye again. They should help themselves create legitimacy. But because instead of asking for a divorce, you now help yourself. Busy saying, shine Congo. Go and shine Congo. Why will you shine Congo?
Eat her cake and have it.
Ramatu, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so for me, this distance relationship is a no-no for me because let's say this, the husband was not in another country. I don't think this would have been this complicated. Yeah. Would have been together and all. And that's what brings me to the value of marriage. Marriage is strengthened when people are together. You are together, all those things, because of course she's a human being. She lacked a need and she decided to satisfy that need. And she didn't know that the person she was going to satisfy the need is the brother of her husband.
Hello.
So it was just
can even be a madman.
Hello.
It was just a coincidence. So to me, distance relationship, no way. Since he was there, they would have just found a way of just staying together. Islamically, once you are outside, once you are not with your husband for 2 weeks, in fact, that marriage is not, you are not still, except if maybe work
or something. Two of you agree.
Yes, you agree, but not for that long. Not for that long. If you stay for that long, then, of course, temptation, the devil will know the joke now. The devil will say, then she got then mixing things together and, you know, cause confusion. I don't know how they are going to get out of this.
You will be thinking of advice for them. Let me come to you, Miriam. What are your thoughts?
I said, this reminds me of that song that says, if you ask me, now who I go ask, you know. Wow. So, for me, it just shows, it's just really about how we have always done things traditionally as Nigerians and as Africans. And how, because of modern times, we have tried to push some of these traditional rights aside. So if we remember, there used to be a time that if you bring home a man to marry, the family will say, hold on, we need to do our investigation.
Yeah.
And many of us, you know, as far away, you know, you think you are educated, you think you are exposed, you think you know what's up. You'll be like, I beg, I don't want all these things. I've met the man I love, and that's it. To be fair, there was a reason why people started, you know, resisting that traditional interference was because some people abused it. But there's a good side to it, which is you find out exactly who it is that you are going to be married to. There's some things that a man, there's some things that people do not share with each other. That, oh, I know a friend of a friend who say, oh, I know this person. When he was in school, he was like this. When she was in this, she was like this. To help you, give you context so that you finally determine if this is the person you want to go ahead with. And this didn't happen for them, I don't think so. Because, and the reason why we do that, apart from that, is that there's some people that are just you know, they're just unfaithful people. They're just dishonest people. So they'll come with different sort of lies and meet you. Because if it's a man that already has a whole family somewhere, and he's not coming to you as a polygamist saying, I have a family, because this is accepted, at least here, given this context, yes, I want you to, I have a family here. So she knows what she's getting into. So that is on the man's side. Now the second one, cheating, as we know, we said it many times, the cheating was wrong. And now she has found, although the cheating now led her to find out more information. But the truth is, if she had not cheated, you know, she wouldn't have found herself in a dilemma where she's pregnant now for her husband's brother. But she says she's pregnant. You know, she'd have held herself. Somehow, I feel that that information of him being married would have come out anyways. Yes. You know, it would have come out another way. But now I feel that she's now in such a such a complicated situation. You have a husband who's not really your husband. You now have children. You are now pregnant by his brother. It's really so messy. So the blame is not just on the man, it's also on the woman. And the person she was cheating with, did he know she was a married woman? So you see why they say men to stay away from married women. Now you found yourself in the bed of your brother's bed. Your brother's bed. You know, so that's why when they give us all this advice, oh, don't do this, don't commit adultery, don't fornicate. It's not just because somebody does not want you to have fun. It's that there are consequences. But many times, because we don't see it, we feel we can do it and get away with it. But for some people, the consequences hit them right
instantly.
You know, at that instant.
They get their karma.
That's what has happened.
So what I see is, okay, we have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Dave.
You're welcome.
Okay, concerning this issue, I just, I was just laughing at the whole thing.
You're laughing, sir.
It's
a serious matter.
It is so funny to me. So my take is, I think when that man did traditional marriage with the woman in a country for he travel to go wherever he travels, I think he went to hire people as his friend, brother, auntie, mother, father. No, that is not possible. He went to hire those people and pay them. That's why it has happened. So that is exactly what happened. If this woman would not, at least the woman could have known, recognize that man that is stating that this man is my husband. So that's my take this morning.
Thank you. I like where you just took us to now. That was where I was headed. I see deceit on both ends, starting from the man. And like he just said now, that he definitely had to go and hire people. You know, we hear some of these things that sometimes when, in the context that I hear it, sometimes when the families, maybe the man's family does not want the girl, and then the man insists on marrying, and the family says, I'm not going to follow you. So they usually would go and hire people who will come and act as uncles. After all, the girl's family will not know your family members. This is an uncle. Maybe father, they will lie. Father has died, mother has collapsed. So this is an uncle, this is an auntie, and all of that. And they do it and they go. So this caller is saying that that's definitely what may have happened for her not to know any family member. We have another caller. Okay, any family member at all. So I see layered deceit on both ends. First of all, on the man's end, who instead of coming out to say, I have a wife abroad though, but you know, I always come back to Nigeria to do business and all of that, I would like you on the side. In fact, there are women who wouldn't mind. Who say, okay, just make sure you get me a house, get me a place, make me comfortable, and they're okay with it. He didn't do that. He deceived her into marriage. And in her own deceit of going to find a way to help herself, she found this. So when we come back, I'd like us to talk about some of the consequences as a result of this. Also looking at culture, because I know there are some places where when you deal with two brothers, it's like a taboo, and you may have some consequences, you know, out of it. But let's go on a short break. When we come back, this conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation on a lady who cheated and ended up cheating with her husband's brother unknowingly to her. Right. And, you know, we've talked about the deceit on both ends, but now I want to look at the possible...
Well, I wanted to say something, because you were saying the caller had said it's likely he created a fake family to marry her. Just for context, this person lives in the United States, and let's say probably an American. And I know of Nigerians who have gone abroad and gotten married to Americans. And the Americans have never been to Nigeria. They don't know your family. They just know you. And for them, in their culture, is good enough. You know, if I see you, I like you, we love each other, that's fine. They don't care about every other thing, you know, that's attached to you. They have met the person and they're with the person. And so that is also likely to happen, where she trusts that the person that you have presented yourself to be is who you are. And many people have gotten away with now having American wives and coming home and being Nigerian bachelors, where they are now living with, you know, a young man on the street. You have your different girls, or married 2 or 3 years. Meanwhile, the one in America is in America, or wherever they are, living quietly, thinking her husband has gone for business and whatever, and he will come back. So that can also happen. And that is why I refer to our own culture, which is wherever you go in this world, when you say you want to marry, they start asking, oh, okay, your people are from Alaska. Where in Alaska? Oh, we have one cousin that knows one brother that has one office
that stays
in Alaska. Please go and find, yes, that's the person. So I think it's important to look at people beyond who they present themselves, because some people can be funny, you know.
Yeah.
It's important to, as for me, the other caller that was talking about him bringing people to fake family members, I disagree.
Okay.
I think, just as Miriam said, American marriages can be conducted in any registry, only 2 parties and maybe 2 witnesses to sign. But there's a reason why we do introduction here.
To introduce.
Yes. See, even after introduction,
very big.
I always say it on the show, my dad used to send investigators. So for me that married from home, he was the investigator himself. For my sisters, there was one person in Kwara. I beg, do you know those people? How do they do in that Kwara state? My sister that was from Ijebu, they sent my auntie to investigate. In fact, she came with the details of who they grew up with. And I was like, this was my first. You know, when she have gone, I will be praying for you, God will be with you. And you know, so you check as much as possible. So this story certainly can't be a Nigerian story for me. It has to be one Americana story. But the point is the infidelity on both sides, especially on the woman's side, that has now brought into family questions of brother, because you cannot in African custom be with 2 brothers or pregnant with the 2 of them. They go bath you for marketplace.
The brother, did he know he was with a married woman?
Did he even know?
He's not knowing himself, it's not his fault.
No, I know, but I'm saying being married.
Why is she even pregnant for him?
Why she's married?
The consequences of
she has been doing. She has been doing. Let me take this call and I come back to you. We have Fumi from Lokoja. Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Fumi. Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, if you can hear me, because I can't. My contribution is...
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
I was going to say that, you know, 2 brothers, and you were saying, was it his fault? Whether it was his fault, whether he didn't deliberately or not, there are consequences to it.
When you finally know.
When I was a young child, 2 of my cousins were supposed to be studying abroad. They dated and came home to come and introduce themselves to family to be married. At the introduction, one man said, who is your father again? You say you're from so-so place. They found out they were cousins. These are not first cousins, second cousins. So. How custom. They're not direct cousins. So. They are, how will I put it, my mother's brother's cousin. That kind of cousin.
Okay.
It wasn't allowed.
Distant cousin.
The old town people in Lagos, that's how I learned language, because they were constantly discussing the consequence of it on them. Have they had sex? Have they not have it? What? You know, that was a tough job. So imagine, they did it innocently. They met each other abroad. They liked each other and they dated. And the consequence of it was a debate in our family house. So imagine a brother, whether he deliberately did it or not. But the woman deliberately had sex while married. She deliberately had sex with someone else while married. And, you know, that one has...
Yeah, let me take this call, Ramsey, and I come back to Ramatu. Ramatu. That's a rhyme right there. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah, I'm calling concerning the story of this lady. You know, what really happened there is, should I call it desperation that is happening in marriage in Nigeria, and the place where culture and tradition is not honored, all in the name of civilization, those things will happen. As a lady, before you got married to a man, at least you should be able to know the family background, know where this man is coming from, know so many things. You can't just say because you put enough to go into marriage without knowing those things. You can see the repercussion of what happened now. It's very critical. Now, if she has actually gone well to know about the family of this guy, such things wouldn't have happened. And all those things always happen in Lagos and in Abuja.
In the cities.
Even me personally, while I was abroad, the lady I got married to, I told her that I'm married in Nigeria, that I have a wife. You see white people, what they hate is lie. Tell them the truth. When you tell a white man the truth, she will accept you. If she doesn't want you, she doesn't want you. But while you are in abroad, you are telling a white lady you are single and you are married in Nigeria, you know, it's a very big issue. What I will advise ladies to do, no matter what, I understand African mentality. No matter what, when you want to settle down, you believe you mature enough to settle down. Make a proper research about that man. Don't do it out of desperation. In Nigeria, when you marry early, people complain. When you
marry late, they will still complain. I like that. Yes,
yeah, so I was just trying to say that okay, she is involved in infidelity, right? She's still married to the guy abroad, and then she decided to cheat, and then now get pregnant. Do you understand? I'm saying that if she's going to be involved in such kind of thing, she's not supposed to get pregnant. She will try and avoid it since she's still married to somebody else. And look at how complicated the thing is now. How she's going to come out of this, I have no idea. So I wanted to ask Nima that they're your cousin that they got married abroad when they came back for the this thing. Were there any rights to cleanse the stuff? Yes, that they had to perform.
They go their separate ways.
I was so young at the time. I didn't even know. No. I remember the conversations around them. So I started saying clear of cousins. So when I was old enough to get married, I used to ask if I meet a town person, which side of the...
No, just don't even marry someone from your state.
No, okay. We marry our cousins, and our cousins are very...
Go ahead.
We marry our cousins, and I'm telling you, the pros of the marriage is very, very, very good. Okay, so there was a time, these are our cousins, they got married, and they had issues in their marriage. The wife left that marriage and came home, to the home, the husband's home, same husband's home. We couldn't take sides because both of them, they are related
from the
to
same
us.
family.
So the guy we call, this is what she did, kaza, 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 and all. The girl we call,
who will you support now?
Who are we going to support? At the end of the day, we had to resolve the issue. You understand? We had to. It was now resolved. So those kind of marriages, the divorce rate or whatever, it's very, very
high,
very low.
Oh, low.
Very interesting, yes. So those kind of marriages last.
Okay, really. So let's take this call. We have a caller from Djibouti. Are you there, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Pushing on this discussion, I could remember when I was going to marry my wife. My wife was from Delta, I'm from Ebony. When I went to introduce myself, my wife's father had to think deep. I remember that I had a friend of his from my town, who is from my town. He called the man, he said, please, do you know this person? And the man, unfortunately, he didn't know me because I didn't grow up at home. I grew up in the north. But the man had to ask questions to know who I am. One thing about Nigeria is somehow, somewhere, we are not far off from each other. We are siblings. Because there's no how you will hide and nobody will know you anywhere you are, unless they don't know your face, but they know your name. So for this woman, I feel she never she was carried away by absence of her spouse. I wouldn't know. This guy was afar, and this is a woman who had needs, just like the guy. The guy had needs, and that was why he went to her, and she had the need. So if her husband was actually there, things like this would have happened. So there are consequences. Like a young guy who was dating a girl, fortunately for him, he impregnated his wife's mother. She gave birth to a son which the family never had, and and this is a secret they kept. Even she later married this lady, and this is a secret they kept in the house.
Wow.
But I know on the long run, that secret will actually haunt them. So whatever we do as young people, we must be very, very careful. If you need your spouse, you know what the person is. I feel you should go there even without invited. You are married. Yeah. So it's bone of your bone. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chuku. Let's...
Because I remember when I was serving in Abakaliki in Ebonyi State, there was this lady we used to go to her salon to make our hair. and on her wall, she had pictures of her husband with this white woman and their children. When you come, she said, hey, that's my husband. That's his Oyinbo wife. And that is their children. I think she displayed it. Like, why did you say,
I said,
she displayed it as if it was, you know, with pride. And she told us that the idea was for him to get married to that one, get the papers, and have her come there eventually. But I am not sure if the woman on the other side is aware that she is here waiting for a man to get married to her so that that man that is her husband is supposed to get papers for her.
Yeah,
you know, there's so many things that we do. I mean, is it common now? Is it more common now?
Yeah. So
with social media, I feel that
yes, I think that's all we can take on this topic. Everybody just needs to be a bit more careful. I wish them all the best in resolving this. I don't know what she's going to do with the baby. I don't know the conversation she's going to have. And I don't even think, in fact, the man on the other side does not have the moral justification to be upset with her in the first place. So worst case, they can decide to part their ways at the end of the day.
That man is in a polygamy.
Yes, but we have to go.
I want to marry
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to yet another topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.